Hello and welcome to this channel. So today we're going to be solving Jamb past question on air and air pollution. But before we start, I would like to give you some points to keep in mind, especially for those of you that don't have any idea about this topic. So immediately after the point, I will be solving the past question. But before we start solving the past question, just check the points out. And the first question is question 39 of 1987. Corrosion is exhibited by A. Iron only, B. Electropositive metals, C. Metals below hydrogen in the electrochemical series, and D. All metals. So this is just a fact, and all metals exhibit corrosion. So just take care of this point in case you see it in your exam. And the next question is question 28 of 1982. When air is passed through alkaline pyrogallol and then over quicklime, the only gases left are. So we know that when air is passed through alkaline pyrogallol, the oxygen component will be absorbed by the pyrogallol. Then over to the quicklime. Quicklime is calcium oxide, which is going to absorb the water vapor component. So the only gases left are just nitrogen, carbon dioxide, and the rare gases. So which is option E. And the next question is question 13 of 1989. So which is in the above setup, substance X and Y are respectively. So what is X? So one of the characteristics of X, the only characteristic of X that was given in this question is that it removes CO2. And we already know that the only thing that removes CO2 are just the alkali, like potassium hydroxide, sodium hydroxide, and calcium hydroxide. And Y removes oxygen, so which is just alkaline pyrogallol, which means option C is the correct option, which is potassium hydroxide and alkaline pyrogallol. Don't be confused by option A, which is lime water. Actually, lime water removes CO2, but the other option, which is copper 2 tetraoxosulfate 6, doesn't remove oxygen. Similarly, for option B, potassium triisocarbonate 4 doesn't remove CO2, while alkaline pyrogallol removes O2. But still, the option is not correct. And the next question is question 15 of 2011. Which of the following noble gases is commonly found in the atmosphere? So what they mean is that the most abundant noble gas in the air, and that is argon from the points. So which means option C is the correct option. And the next question is question 14 of year 2004. in the above experiment, X is a mixture of nitrogen, carbon dioxide, and so the air is passed through alkaline pyrogallol, which means oxygen will be removed, then through anhydrous calcium chloride, which means the water vapor will be removed. So the only thing that will be that will be remaining will be nitrogen, carbon dioxide, and the inert gases. So option C is the correct answer. And the next question is question 3 of 2014. Oxygen in air can be removed using, so it's obviously option C, which is the alkaline pyrogallol. So I will urge you to note all these reagents, all these substances that remove each of the components of air, because you can see this question is one of the most commonly set questions. And the next question is question 21 of year 2001. So phosphorus is stored underwater to prevent it from, so the correct answer is just catching fire, because phosphorus catches fire easily in air because it reacts with oxygen in air according to the equation that you see on the screen. P4 plus 5O2 to give P4H10. And the next question is question 11 of 2007. The presence of nitrogen in air is to slow down. Now with air, combustion reaction can occur and as well as corrosion. So, and you know that the percentage of nitrogen in air is quite bigger and it's quite much than that of the oxygen that is required for this combustion and uh, corrosion. So, which means nitrogen acts as a diluent of air. It dilutes the air, so which means it slows down the combustion reaction and that of the corrosion. So, option C is the correct answer. And the next question is question 36 of year 2006. The product of combustion of candle wax are, so since candle wax is just an hydrocarbon, so the end product of the combustion of hydrocarbon is always carbon dioxide and water. So option A is correct. And the next question is question 40 of 2005. The gas that is the most dangerous pollutant to humans is, so the gas is just carbon 2 oxide or carbon monoxide and it's not A. So if that's what Jamb had in mind, so by the option A, so that means option A will be the correct answer. Or else, there is no correct option in this question. And the next question is question 36 of year 2005. 25 cm cube of a mixture of noble gases were obtained from air after the removal of other constituents. What was the original volume of air? So from here we know that just only 1% of the volume of air is the noble gas. So which means 1% of the volume of air will give us 25 cm cube. So which means 1 over 100 multiplied by the volume of air will give us 25 cm cube. So when you cross multiply, you have 1 multiplied by the volume of air will give us 25 multiplied by 100. So which will be the volume of air is equal to 25 multiplied by 100. So which will give us 2500 cm cubed. So which means option C is the correct answer. And the next question is question 13 of year 2004. Which of the following mixtures of gases is likely to burn in flame? So considering the answers here, the only option that's correct is option A. So which is the mixture of neon and hydrogen, because hydrogen is going to react with oxygen to form water, so it's going to burn in air. So other are just a mixture of non-combustible gases like nitrogen, which is not even reactive, and helium, and other rare gases in option C and D respectively. So option A is the correct answer. The next question is question 12 of 2013. The consistent of air that acts as a diluent is, so that's option B, which is nitrogen, because it has the highest percentage of all the constituents. So it acts as a diluent of air. That is, it acts like something that dilutes the air. And the next question is question 13 of 2012. First, it has a varied composition from one place to another. 2. Its constituents can be separated by physical means. Then 3. It contains unreactive noble gases. So which of the above show that air is a mixture? So 1 is correct. It has a varied composition from one place to another. And number 2 is also correct. Its constituents can be separated by physical means. Yes, it can be separated by passing it through the respective substance that absorb them. And it contains unreactive noble gas. That is very true. So it contains unreactive noble gas. So option D is the correct answer. That is 1, 2, and 3. And the next question is question 23 of 2011. The condition required for corrosion to take place is the presence of, So the option is just water and oxygen. So that's option C. So you can check the points again. It's already there. And the next question is question 24 of 2010. Iron can be protected from corrosion by coating the surface with. So the correct answer is zinc. So that is called the galvanized iron. And the next question is question 14 of 1995. Helium is often used in observation balloons because it is, and the correct option is because it is light and non-combustible. Actually, hydrogen were used before, but because it is combustible, so they prefer to use helium. So option B is correct. And the next question is question 9 of 1999. Nitrogen obtained from the liquefaction of air has a higher density than that obtained from nitrogen-containing compounds because the former contains, so it's simply because it contains rare gases. So it's because it contains some rare gases. That's why it's heavier. That's why it's denser than the one obtained from the nitrogen-containing compound. So it's option D. So the next question is question 15 of 1994. The setup above will be useful for determining the amount of uh so it is water vapor because the air is passed through anhydrous calcium chloride, which is going to absorb the water vapor component of the air. So say that the amount of air that you pass through in is 50 cm cube, and at the end of the day you get 20 cm cube. So it means 30 cm cube of the air is water vapor and it's absorbed by the calcium chloride. That's an example actually. So it means it is useful for determining the amount of water vapor component in the air. And the correct answer is option B. So and the next question is question 12 of 1987. A stream of air was successively passed through three tubes X, Y, and Z containing a concentrated aqueous solution of potassium hydroxide, red hot copper powder, and fused calcium chloride respectively. So this means that X contain a concentrated aqueous solution of potassium hydroxide, and Y contain red hot copper, and Z contains calcium chloride. So what was the component of gas emanating from the tube Z? After the air is passed through all these three tubes, so what will be the component emanating from the last tube? So X would remove since it is an alkali, so it will remove CO2. And since Y is red hot copper, it means it's going to react with the oxygen component of the air. It's going to absorb it and to form copper 2 oxide. And since Z is calcium chloride, it's going to absorb the water vapor component of the air. So the gas emanating from tube Z will contain N2, that is nitrogen and inert gases. So that's option C. The next question is question 16 of 1985. In what respect will two dry samples of nitrogen gas differ from each other if sample 1 is prepared by completely removing CO2 and O2 from air? Mind you, if you remove only CO2 and O2 from air, it will remain inert gases and the nitrogen. So which means the nitrogen will be impure and it will be denser than the second one, which is prepared normally and free from impurities. And sample 2 is prepared by passing purified nitrogen 2 oxide over heated copper. So this one will produce a pure nitrogen, while the former one will produce nitrogen that is impure, so that contains inert gases. So which means the option is that sample 1 is slightly denser than sample 2 and which is also impure. So that's option B. Option A is wrong because sample 1 will not be purer than sample 2. It will rather be more impure than sample 2. While that of C, they are not going to be the same in all respects. And the next question is question 22 of 1979. When a piece of charcoal enclosed in a cylinder containing air is ignited. Now when it is ignited, note that the oxygen component of the air will be used to burn the charcoal. The charcoal is a substance that contains carbon, so which means C plus O2 give us CO2. So which means oxygen of the air will be used up and CO2 will be produced from the ignition. So which means more of CO2 will be produced. So the relative amount of CO2 will be increased while the relative amount of oxygen will be decreased. So if you check the options now, the total volume of air is increased. That's very wrong. The relative amount of oxygen present is increased. It is decreased. So that's very wrong as well. And the relative amount of nitrogen present is decreased. That's very wrong. It remains the same. And the relative amount of carbon dioxide present is increased. So this is the correct answer. So which means option D is correct. And the next question is question 8 of 1981. For iron to rust, there should be present, so the option is simply oxygen and moisture, according to the equation you see on the screen. And the last question is question 21 of 1986. The approximate volume of air containing 10 cm cube of oxygen is. So we know that the percentage per volume of oxygen in air is 21%. That is 21% of the volume of air is equals to the volume of oxygen. So which means 21% of air is equal to 10 cm cube. So 21 divided by 100 multiplied by the volume of air is equals to 10 cm cube. So which means if you cross multiply, you have 21 multiplied by the volume of air is equals to 10 multiplied by 100. So which means 21 times the volume of air is equals to 1000 cm cube. So when you divide both sides, you have 1000 cm cube divided by 21, which is 1000 divided by 21. So which gives 47.6. So which is 50 cm cubed approximately. So option C is correct. And that will be the end for this video. Thanks for watching. I really appreciate you. And don't forget to subscribe to this channel and like this video. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next video. Bye.